Here, Steve installs a typical window magnetic sensor. He first marks the location of his cable on both the frame and the sliding pane. Retrieves the cable, strips and preps 2 conductors, and attaches the conductors to the switch contact. He then centers and secures the contact to the frame using the contact adhesive backing. He then preps the track of the pane and attaches the magnet with its adhesive backing, plus a dab of sealant for good measure. At each door, ASL installs a recessed contact in the frame. It's installed by directly crimping the pigtail wires on the sensor to the conductors of the cable. The crimp connectors and cable are then pushed into the opening, and sealant is used to secure the contact in the opening. Steve marks the location of the contact on the door, drills the hole for the magnet, and secures the magnet in place with sealant. Meanwhile, Jason installs the first of 2 motion sensors. They use 2 conductors for power and 2 for a normally closed contact. We have 2 Omni keypads, this one in the master bedroom and the other at the utility room entry door. After measuring the correct height, Steve uses the back to mark the cutout and mounting holes. Cuts the cable opening and retrieves the cable, then secures the back to the drywall. He preps the cable and attaches the provided connector using the pigtail conductors. So you're getting ready to put the stuff in the security panel.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you a hand.
Okay.
Now, we've got the A-bus in here, the HAI panel, and that's about it other than the security equipment.
That's it.
Okay, so these are our audio cables.
These are for the A-bus.
Security stuff, and these are all your security sensors.
Right.
Okay, well, let's get started. You want to start from the top down?
Yeah, let's start from the top down.
All right. Why don't you grab that. So the panel just snaps in. Okay, here, let's stick the A-bus guy in. So you're just going to come down with your cables and wrap around.
Yeah, we'll tie them off to the side so it keeps everything nice and neat.
Okay. Let's get the power strip. You want that a little high, out of the way. It's okay to put these cables behind there?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap back there, so we can put them behind there.
Yeah,
Keeps everything out of the way.
a little higher than that. See the mark?
Yep, you're right. Missed that one.
Yeah. Okay, so the A-bus power supply then, so we've got the X10 module that's going to go in there, and you'll have the power supply for the board.
Yeah, the transformer will sit in the bottom.
Okay, and then the A-bus power supply is going to go in there and power that thing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if there's anything I can do, since we put the this stuff in, I wrote on there where the each wire goes to the panel.
Okay.
So I'll let you get started on it. I'm going to go start on the cameras outside. We'll catch up with you later.
All right.
Okay. Eric starts the process of sorting out the security sensor cables and getting them organized into zones for attachment to the security processor board. Next, Rich and I are going to mount the cameras inside and outside. I'm going to install this one on the front porch. Now we're going to use these small bullet-style color cameras, and I've gone ahead and pre-mounted these on the plates in the office to save time during installation. The 12-volt DC power connector conductors are crimped to 4 conductors of the Cat5 cable. When distributing power over Cat5 cable, use at least 2 of the conductors for each polarity to minimize the voltage drop in the cable due to the resistance of the wire. We standardized on combining the orange pair conductors for positive and the green pair for negative. I'm using a two-piece crimp connector. First, slip the crimp ring over the cable. Then remove an inch of insulation. The video cable uses BNC connectors. And since I didn't have a coax stripper set for BNC dimensions on the site, I had to do it the old-fashioned way. Familiar to many of you, I'm sure. Peel back the outer braid, remove the inner foil, peel back the inner braid, and trim them to about ½ inch. How much insulation you remove and the center conductor length depends on the brand of connector you use. The connector pushes under the braid and the braid is folded over and under the crimp ring. The ring is then crimped tight to the jacket and braid. The connectors push back into the outlet and the camera is attached normally. Yes, as always, the stucco crew has some patching to do. Finally, I do a rough position adjustment and set. We'll do a final adjustment during configuration. Meanwhile, Rich uses the same procedure to install the in-wall camera in bedroom 1. The lens is recessed in the wall and is covered by a plexiglass cover. Steve finishes up the camera in the great room, the same type we used outside. Now, we're going to be using a Core Access Omni 6 home control and user interface system. Now, installation is simple. It consists of simply attaching power, our Ethernet network connection, and a serial interface back to our Omni LT home automation panel. Once the cables are attached, the panel screws right to the rough-in box, and the cover just snaps in place. Very nice.
Next, we'll install the HAI Omni thermostats, one for each of 2 heating and cooling zones in this house. This is a single-stage thermostat for heating and cooling, which is what we need in this application. They're wired directly back to the Omni controller, and they connect to the HVAC equipment just like a normal thermostat.
Since we forgot to get Rich the right tools for this shot, he had to attach the HVAC wires with his pocket knife. He then attaches the supplied serial interface connector to the Cat5 cable from the panel using crimp connectors.
It looks perfect, doesn't it? Okay.
What the heck is this cable, and who botched up the raw fin opening? The thermostat for the master suite zone is mounted in a poor location for monitoring temperature, so we installed a separate temperature sensor in the center of the space. We mounted a shelf for the wireless access point and attached the power module and data cable.